So here's Greg.
Hey everyone.
Okay, awesome. I'm going to full screen you, Greg. And Greg, I think actually was an introduction through Martin, through some of you did some talks in Shenzhen maybe, yep, in Shenzhen. And Greg, you live in Berkeley, San Fran in California, right?
I do. There's a big lag, I think. I can see myself about 3 minutes late here.
Yeah, that's right. Don't look at the live stream. Just look
Oh,
at
gotcha.
just
Okay,
drop the web stream. Don't forget about that, and just focus on
great.
the present with the Skype call.
Okay, excellent.
This one here.
I'm on it. Yeah.
Cool, Greg. I thought you could maybe just tell us a bit about what a hardware community looks like where you're from. What's going on there?
Yeah, so just a little bit of background to give you our perspective here. So I've been in this for 10 years, mostly through manufacturing, and got into building a meetup group about 3 years ago. We have about 1,200 members in our meetup group right now. Ours is in the East Bay. There are meetup groups all over the Bay Area, that really cover all kinds of topics. The biggest hardware meetup group is in San Francisco. They have about 8,000 members, I think, right now. And, this community really started, I think, a lot of this hardware activity started a little bit in the Bay Area 10 years ago with things like the tech shop coming out. I know they're getting out to Europe now, but that kind of started that maker sort of movement with access to the industrial machines. And later on, a bunch of accelerators and incubators. It feels like an incubator accelerator opens up like once a week here nowadays.
Uh-oh.
Startups, ours are a bit more informational. We try to have longer talks with deeper dive subjects and then a lot of time for networking to get the community together. As far as the other groups, some of them do really quick kind of 2-minute pitches and others do panels and, there's various education. But yeah, it's very similar really to what you guys are doing out there.
So how many meetups have you been doing in Berkeley?
Well, we've been doing them once a month, so it's about 31 now.
Okay. That is a lot.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun. I love it. Get some pizza, beer, get everyone talking about hardware stuff. It's a great time. So.
That's very nice. Could you talk a bit about? I'm struggling to figure out where to position myself, but I'm just going to walk away and trust that that I'm around. What are you focusing on now? And I know that you're working on something called Hardware Massive. What are you doing now, and what's that about?
Yeah, so basically working with, we've worked with over 800 clients through Berkeley Sourcing Group, and we saw a lot of startups running into the same problems. And this is why I got into event organizing. And as it took off in the Bay Area, we expanded to Shenzhen, Hong Kong, and Tokyo. We've been running those meetups for about a year now. And while it was great to get everyone together, we found that the platform wasn't good for keeping the conversation going, that people would go home, they would immediately have lots more questions and want to get connected to that electrical engineer or that investor or that prototyping guy that could answer those questions. And there wasn't really a good way to do that. So my friend was developing this other platform, Travel Massive, which was kind of like a meetup for the travel industry with all of these other resources. And so we implemented his platform into basically the hardware startup space. Now we're working on, I think we're about at 11 chapters globally with the goal to have 20 by the end of July. And the idea is to really get the whole global community talking to each other, helping each other out, getting everyone connected with the resources in other cities. And we provide a lot of videos. I think we've got about 25 videos on all of these relevant topics online. So the resources, we've got discussion forums. So basic idea is to really try to get people to learn from each other, learn from experts to hopefully be more successful. It's very hard. We've seen that over and over again, and it really takes all the help you can get. So we're trying to get everyone connected.
Very nice. So for Hardware Massive, we're having some conversations. So the co-organizers are having some conversations with Greg around how we can support that work. So there is already like a platform online called Hardware Massive that you can sign up to and collaborate with other startup people around the world for hardware. and maybe we'll collaborate more with Greg in the future around that.
Yeah, if I can help anyone, you can connect with me there online. And if you're coming to San Francisco and need some connections or anything, I'd be happy to help. So.
Cool. Yeah, because the last thing I was going to ask, actually, the second to last thing I was going to ask is, how do people get in touch with you if they're looking for some help? But it sounds like maybe go to Hardware Massive and reach out to you there.
Yeah, so Greg Fisher is my full name. You can find me on Hardware Massive or Berkeley Sourcing Group. You can email us directly, LinkedIn, all that. But yeah, Hardware Massive is probably the easiest place.
Okay, cool. And in our speaker lineup, Greg is there with his LinkedIn profile link also. So the thing that was actually my last question was going to be, is that a forest in the background?
This is our front yard here. Actually, I'm working from home here, and
it looks very nice.
There's some cars out there, but we got a lot of trees here.
Yeah, can't see the cars from here. It just looks very nice. Cool, Greg. Thanks a lot.
Great to see everyone. Have fun.